What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Hope you guys having a good day today. Wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about a few things. First thing I want to talk to you guys about is this. When you go on a lot of these stock chat websites such as Yahoo Finance or StockTwits or Reddit, all these places that they have the stock chats, right? I want you to understand this, guys. What you're gonna find there is about 70% paid bashers that get paid to attack a certain company because they want that company to go lower, so the people that they're working for are able to buy at a much lower price, much more shares, because they know that the company is going to be a very successful company in the future. So guys, understand this. The more bashers there are on a company, when you notice not just one post, not just two posts from just a random individual, but the same 3 or 4 people constantly every day bashing a company 24 hours a day on the same chat, on the same company bashing it, what that should tell you is buy now. Buy now. Don't miss out because of these paid bashers that make pennies. Pennies. That sit on their smartphone. Probably a government assisted smartphone that they got free from the government because they can't afford anything else, and they sit there and bash these stocks. What I want to do is right now I actually want to read to you guys an article made from one of these paid bashers because he wasn't comfortable with what he was doing. So he came out and he let it be known what it really is and what's going on with these companies. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to it. By Tom Martin, aka Steve Tracy, aka Firebird, 1965. Today I want to come clean about something I feel very badly about. I cannot undo some of the things I've done, but hopefully this message will prevent other such occurrences in the future. I'm a paid basher. Yes, it is true. Today is my last day at this company. I'm moving on to a new job, but before I go, I want to explain a few things because this isn't right and I won't feel good about myself until I expose this sham. It's hurt too many people and I don't want it on my conscience anymore. I can no longer live with the lie. I work for a company called Franklin Andrews, Kramer and Edelstein in Sanford, Connecticut. Basically, it's a boiler room, much like the one in the movie of the same name. The idea behind my group is to bash the price of a company's stock down low enough to where the group of investors who retain our company's services can buy the stock really cheap and perhaps even take it over altogether. There are approximately 70 people at the company divided into several groups. My group, consisting of 5 people, is responsible for BIFs, BIFS. While I probably shouldn't give you any names of anyone working here, what the heck? I'm leaving here. So what can they do? Sue me? I can tell you that gut-wrenching part of my group until he left last week, as was Richard PHX. Others who have been part of this include early bashers like Epiphonics, Simontaz. You may be interested to know that some hipsters, such as Amato 7 and Biff's Watcher, you have also been part of the sham. Just real quick, want to cut this off? I just want to give a quick sideline. Paid bashers for AITX, I never seen nothing like it in my life. There are 3 paid bashers, 3 or 4 of them. Some of them might be the same one, but they literally stay on AITX's platform the whole day. First one being EZEEE, number 1 paid basher, all day on the site. Number 2, Lay of the Land, which they're probably the same person. Number 3, Jeep Man, and they got the Sloan guy. And there's a lot of others because AITX is the company with probably the most potential in the stock market right now. And this is a chance for everybody to get in at the bottom of a company that's going to be this country's future. That's why they're focusing on nothing but this company 24 hours a day. Let's get back into this. There are several companies engaged in the bashing of businesses. Ours is not the only one. However, I can tell you that not every basher in here is a paid basher. Having done this for 2 years, I can usually tell who's a paid basher who is merely someone having a little fun, while unpaid bashers have a different motive than someone like me. They can be unwilling accomplices to helping me achieve my ultimate goal, and they also spread rumor about confusion throughout a room, which also helps me. What is the goal? Well, I am merely a cog in a much larger machine, so my bosses never really explained the big picture to me, but I'd say essentially gut wrench was right. There are several companies who are quite familiar with the Swami and who are deathly afraid of it. There are 3 types of bashers here at Franklin Andrews and Edelstein: advanced, intermediate, and beginner. An advanced level basher, also known as a silver-tongued devil, would spread false or misleading information about the company. They would deal in facts, countering every long post with articles, news reports, and opinions, surveys that gave a negative impression about the company. An intermediate level basher, also known as a serpent, would try to weasel their way into the confidence of longs and create doubt using rumor or innuendo. Finally, a beginner level basher, also known as a pitchfork, would attempt to create confusion in the room by distracting other posters with satire, name-calling, and pointless arguments. The idea was to make sure no serious discussion of the stock could take place. A pitchfork was usually a basher, but not always. Sometimes we would throw a hipster pitchfork, such as Amato 7 or Biff's Watcher, to create the illusion of an argument going on. What was really fun, in a perverse way I guess, was that Amato 7 and I sat next to each other laughing the whole time. I was a pitchfork. I was a paid base wage of $12 an hour for my services. I was given a $1 bonus for every post over 100 per day, as well as a monthly bonus of $100 for every penny the stock had dropped from the previous month. I was also a paid bonus for bashing on weekends. While this may not sound like much, I made a decent though dishonorable check. Each of us sat in a small half cubicle in a cluster with our teammates. Each group, usually 5 people, was made of 3 beginners, 2 who would bash, and 1 who would hype, 1 intermediate, and 1 advanced level basher. Occasionally, for some of the hotter stocks, one of the beginners would be replaced by an intermediate depending on how much the stock was raising. Biff's was a low-level stock, meaning it got the 3-1-1 configuration. Somehow I get the feeling that JPAC 2 may have worked for a basher companies know someone who does this because the Basher Handbook he occasionally posts in his early seminar to the one we actually use, while not a word for word match, I'd say it's about 90% the same. We do have certain rules that we follow. First, we have to develop a character and stay within the character in order to build a following. My character, Firebird 1965, was a sarcastic, obnoxious supporter of free speech, but only when it came to bashers. Next, we had to follow certain guidelines on what we could say. We were urged to have an answer to every Long's question, but we were to frame that answer in a way that ridiculed the question of asking such a question. However, we were never to use profanity or vulgarity because that would cause people to ignore us. We were to make fun of people, but in a civil way. The idea was to get play, i.e. reaction from other posters. The more play we got, the more room would be disrupted. Ignored posters get no play. One exception would be the hypester. Since they were defending the stock against our onslaught, they got a little more leeway. People would side with the hypester because they thought he was real, since he appeared to be on their side, but was really on ours, setting us up to disrupt the room. Pedal Cars is quite good at this, and he gets paid very well. I work on Biffs for about 3 months now. In addition, Firebird 1965. I've used a few others on Biffs. Anyways, in closing, I feel absolutely terrible about this. It's just awful. I've been a part of a scam. I've been part of such a scam designed to cheat honest, hardworking people out of their investments, and for all the benefit of a few wealthy people who already have enough money to last a lifetime. These greedy people must be stopped. That's why I'm posting this before I leave. I want to make up for some of the damage I've done. I can't live with this lie anymore. You can't imagine how hard it is to look at myself in the mirror each morning knowing my job is to cheat and lie. I have to go now. I'm too broken up to continue. I hope this confession can make up for my sordid deeds. I would urge everyone who reads this to copy and repost this as many times as you can. Only by shining the light of the truth can we drive these rats back into the darkness from whence they came. Believe me, they don't want publicity. With fervent remorse, Tom Martin. Most bashing happens on discussion boards and chat rooms. Most bashing happens in the penny stock area of the market, but it's not limited to the penny stocks. It happens everywhere, folks. It's a fact. Learning is a process of evolution. Learning is not all fluff. Learning is a process of awareness and unfolding development. One must be willing to work at it, though. A year ago, I asked my broker friends of mine if the internet message boards will have any effect on a stock. They all laughed at me and said, "Those idiots having an effect on a stock?" The truth is, it is easier to scare people into selling than to inform people into buying a stock. Well, I asked those same friends this last week, and the answer from all, yes, message boards and shorts can manipulate a stock with lies and deceit. Now think about that. You have elderly that invest their way into the message boards, and that invest and find their way into the message boards only to see false posts about SEC violations and class action lawsuits. Or you have a yuppie with a kid to put in college going to these message boards only to see posts by 15 to 20, probably 5 or 6 under aliases, packs of shorts posting with the same false stuff about SEC violations or lawsuits. There's bad news coming out. What do you think it will do? It is easier to sell the stock. It's a lot to read here. Lesson number 1, remember, bashers never bash a bad stock. I said this in the beginning of the video without reading. just by with reading a few sentences of the video. This is just common sense, guys. A few sentences of the article. Bashers never bash a bad stock. Watch the boards for the stocks with no potential. They never have any bashers. Bashers only go after stocks that are going upwards or have excellent potential to go up. Bashers get left behind. So they want to bring the price down to be able to get in at a great price. Lesson number 2, bashers always bring up old news that you have heard many times. New startup companies always have a few bits of bad news. The bashers will post this over and over again. The stupid basher will try to make the old news a bit fresher to try to fool you. Lesson number 3. Bashers post many times a day. They try to wear you out. They comment on everything, every post, every other post. They can answer every question. They know it all. There's no positive comment. They won't bash. They try to control the board. True longs may have to address the bashers, or they will appear to be the newbie, or they will appear to the newbies as being people with all the information. Bashers will lie to your face. Never trust a basher. The truth on startup companies is that many mistakes are made and losses happen. The basher will try to make you believe all startup companies make a profit, release financials every quarter, and all aspects of the business run smoothly. This is not true. The bashers lie to you. Startup companies can go years without profits, financials, and good businesses. This is the nature of the beast. Bear with me. There's a few more important points I want to get to here. Lesson number 5. The bashers, you can't verify their statements. That's why they make the statements they do. Lesson number 6. The bashers, they play on your lack of knowledge. They can lie about information, and you couldn't know the difference unless you have done your assessment of the company and know the truth and facts. Lesson number 7. Bashers play with your lack of patience. You have held a stock for a while. You knew will be a big stock someday, but the bashers can get to you because you're tired of waiting for your gain. That's when the basher is best. You are tired. You have forgotten the goal for the stock was to hold it for 1 year. The basher is bothersome, so you dump it on a bad day. Some others also dumped, and you get mad for your losses, and you return to let everyone know how mad you are. Then you turn into the basher as well. The basher has won and gained a new partner too. Lesson number 8: bring the price down. The basher's job, the truth, is not important. Lies in the room. They're trying to hit the newbies visiting board. They're trying to hit the newbies visiting the board. They're trying to wear out the longs on the board. They do whatever it takes to wear the longs out. We're almost done, guys. Bear with me. It's important. Lesson number 9. Bashers will try to create doubt and get you to research items that they know will lead to the creation of doubt in you and in other stockholders. A typical trick of an advanced basher is to propose that there is potential problem because we don't have the facts on a particular subject. The basher dares someone in the group to find out the answers to the question. The basher already knows the answer. The basher already knows what will be found. The power of the tactic is that the basher is now in control of the actions of the stockholders. The basher has you, the stockholder, doing his or her due diligence, and when the stockholder come back to the group with a questionable finding, the basher gains credibility. What to do? Solution? Well, I think it's important to find answers, but on your own. I actually pick up the phone and call the company and talk to the investor relations person. or the CEO until I get a satisfactory answer. The problem here is that the advanced basher has you doing this bidding of his work. You have essentially joined his ranks, so develop your own little due diligence package and answer questions by placing the information into the package and referring all new investors to read the answers to the questions raised in the investor information package. But don't get into a conversation with the basher regarding the topic. That is where you lose. Don't converse with the basher. Answer indirectly. Don't use the basher's name. Don't get into a personality contest. A basher's handbook. Know the enemy. No. I'm gonna just show you the basher's handbook. You guys can read this for yourself if you like. I know it might be backwards, guys. I apologize for that. But anyways, it's really sad that a lot of people probably sell out because of these bashers because they don't do their own due diligence on the company and they get scared out easily. And when we do have the real run up because people start understanding what the stock is really worth, they miss out on all these gains, potentially miss out on millions, tens of millions of dollars, because a lot of these companies, especially in the small market cap range, especially with the penny stocks, have an exponential amount of potential ahead of them. These are companies like AITX, like CLIS, like SFOR that will change our country's future, with the innovation that they contain. So, guys, I'm gonna leave you with this once and for all. The more bashers the message board has, the better the stock is. Notice how many times a day a certain person posts a certain comment. Remember what I explained to you guys in this video. Do your own work for yourself, because you're going to be very upset when these stocks do reach their potential, which they will. These bashers could keep us down for just a little bit until they can't no more, and these stocks will take off. Don't be the one to get left behind because of these people, because of these low lives that they find on the street and bring into their boiler room operations. Salute to you guys. Have a great night. I'm off this. Take care. Hit the like, subscribe if you don't mind. I appreciate it too.